Hey guys, I have a TCG Player affiliate link now, so if you guys ever want cards, sleeves, packs, or anything of that nature, use my affiliate link to support the channel down in the description. Hey, what's up guys? We're at Heart of the Game with returning guest TJ, and today he top 4'd the mega tournament that we hosted over at Heart of the Game with what deck?
So I'm playing the RUNICK BYSTIAL deck, similar to the one that Joshua Schmidt topped the YCS with. So.
Nice. Any shoutouts before we get into the deck profile?
Shout out to usual testing crew, shout out Heart of the Game, shout out Buffalo Boys, you know, we out there every event, let's kick it.
Alright, let's do it. Let's see it. 40 card main deck?
40 card main. So I'm playing 3 Lubellion, 2 Saronir, 1 Druid Worm, 1 Magma, 1 Baldrake, and 1 Bystial Aluber. This is kind of like the standard set of ratios. You can like cut down on like the Saronirs or play more Druid Worms just depending on whatever the format comes up to, but this seems like the solid engine. Then for the targets for our Lubellion, we're playing the 2 Regained, 1 Beast. I do like the Beast in here.
Yeah.
I'm actually not sure how I feel about the second Regain. It hasn't come up that much, but it's still, I think, relevant, especially if you're going to end up playing like some mirror matches where this is going to end up banished.
A grind game too, maybe.
Then for our tuner engine, we're playing 3 Quem. Instead of playing Cartesia, we are playing 3 Ecclesia, and then we are playing the Golden Sword Soul.
So how do you like the Ecclesia, since that is pretty non-standard?
Okay, so I watched Joshua Schmidt's latest video where he was talking about Ecclesia, because he literally said the reason that he ran Cartesia was just because it added itself back in the end phase and no other reason, which Ecclesia does the same thing. And then you have the Golden Sword Soul, which I think is the newest addition to the deck, because he's also talked about this. And this just provides you extra tuner value, where I even have a combo where like a Runic card plus Ecclesia plus a Bystial still ends you on like 2 10s, fountain, draw, everything. You know, it's kind of crazy. So for those of you that don't know what this does, so anytime a monster gets banished face up, you can banish this card from your field or your graveyard to special summon a spellcaster whose attack and defense are equal from your hand or grave, which both Quem and Ecclesia are, so this just gets you a 3rd tuner.
Yep. You like those today?
Yeah, the 3 Ecclesia combo came up, like, the combo with Ecclesia made the 3 Ecclesia worth it, because it came up so many times today, where you just end on the 2 level 10s, whether it's, like, one of them's going to end up being Dispotter, but the other one can be, like, Changing, Baron, or Baron, and then, if you draw the Quem instead, if you have enough, like, Runic cards or other extenders as well, you can end on all 3 of those, plus an SP.
Okay, that's awesome.
Then for the Runics, we're playing a fairly standard set of ratios. These are flexible. 3 tip, 3 freezing, 3 flashing, 3 destruction. I'm only playing 2 slumber because I wanted another name, so I played the 1 dispelling and 1 smiting storm. This felt like a good number of runics, just to make sure that I drew at least 1 in my opening hand, and then probably drew at least 1 more going through like triad, stuff like that.
Nice.
Then 2 fountain. The only non-engine we run is 3 Ash Blossom. This card's just too good not to play right now. It's the best hand trap that you can draw off of, like, Fountain that will still hit things later on if you do the draws late, whereas something like Droll will shut off your draws for the turn as well. And also, like, if you see it super late off your draws, it's not as impactful. For the extra deck, I like 3 Hugin right now. I was testing with 2, which is this pretty standard ratio. However, I did have some situations where, like, I needed to summon this to protect something because something was about to get destroyed, so I had to chain this. And then I still needed the second fountain at some point later in the game, and I wasn't able to recycle this off, like, Regained or something quick enough. So, like, the 3rd one does come up. It feels like it could be a flex spot, but for now, that's what I'm doing. The 1 Moonin, I just didn't want to side the time card, and sometimes you just want the extra name. I didn't really think Sleipnir was that valuable in the end, because it's only during your main phase or your opponent's battle phase, so a lot of the times you're going to want to do something with it is on your opponent's turn. It just doesn't get you there. And then the 1 Jerry, just because you need to get your fountain back. The level 4 sometimes comes up. 1 Triage, this is standard. It's especially better than Charred Warrior because it's a light, so you can banish it, regain, blah, all that fun stuff.
course.
Coral Dragon, because sometimes you want a tuner level 6 to go off with Jerry or something like that. There are also times where you can use this with a Bestial or this for a card we go to later. We played the 1 Chang'e, 1 Dissipator, the 1 Baron. These are like the standard 3. Chaos Angel. This card is especially important against other Runic decks because you use this in SP to get rid of both their fountains and they can't really do anything. And then we play 1 Legatia. This is just another card that lets you draw, so sometimes like you'll either go into like this and have a Bestial spare on the board and you just want to like use this and that, and then you'll draw off of this and the Legatia. Sometimes you don't have like a Bestial, so you want to make like both of these instead of a level 10 and get 2 more draws to like further extend your plays.
Didn't miss any other level 10s or anything, or yeah.
Those are the standard ones. There aren't any other good ones. You have 1 Typhon. This was a card I was debating whether or not I wanted to play. It came up like once today. It's not too bad. It's not too great. There are certain matchups it helps against. Like, it helps you going second against mana, but I opted to play Dark because I expect to see a lot of either mirror match type things or there's just so much SP running around. This card just like bringing back their SP is insane. And then your own SP. Side deck, we're playing 3 Nib. I think this card is especially like decent with other sets of interactions against stuff like specifically Rescue Ace, sometimes Fire King, depending on what build and combo they're going for. Like if they're going for the Snake Eye stuff where they're going with like Flamberge and stuff, this can hit them, but against most of the builds, unless you're seeing that, I wouldn't side this in. Like I said, this is mostly just for Rescue Ace. The occasional still Unchained you might see. It's pretty good against Tearlament. It's especially good in this mirror match because you don't summon like a level 10 or any way to play around this until like summon 7.
Really?
Like
tips to beat this deck, guys. Nib.
Because like specifically this build with the Sword Soul, because the Sword Soul, so you go like normal Quem special, then you go special back from grave, that's 3. You sit there, you make your Tri-Edge, that's 4, but with the Golden Sword Soul combo, it makes it so that you get an extra summon in between. Then you have the 3 Droll. I still feel like there are enough decks in the format where this warrants, especially against Fire King when you're going second. That deck, I do believe, has a very hard matchup because your Bestials do not inherently do anything to it. So this is like the best way to push through a lot of other things, because if they do not hard open like Island and use that first, Ponix just gets rolled and they don't do anything.
You hear that? Ponix gets rolled. The deck does nothing.
2 Phantasme.
How did you like the Phantasme?
Phantasme came up a couple of times today. I thought it was really good. It's especially good against Manadium because they have to go into the Link 1. It is also especially good into Rescue Ace because they either want to like establish an SP or something before they try to Turbulence to play around like Infirm. So this card is just really good. It helps against other SPs. Enough decks are playing it this. Like,
do you think
SP
it's good enough to Phantasme for 1 if it because of the SP?
Oh, 100%. That is like the most valuable thing, especially when you're siding in stuff like this against mana and stuff like this against Rescue Ace as well. So it's like you see this against Rescue Ace, so now they have to play around this, and it's just so much harder. 1 Duster, this helps going second against Rescue Ace, among other things, Labyrinth, whatever. Droplet, I think this is the best card in the format right now.
Really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good going first card. It's a pretty good going second card. So you can set it going first. You can deal with stuff that like can't be targeted. Like you can deal with the Labyrinth chick. You can deal with like Chaos Angels and stuff. It's just insane. And then 3 Evenly. Again, I just think this is like one of the best cards against Rescue Ace. It came up in one of my matches earlier against Rescue Ace. It comes up against Lab. It comes up against pretty much everything that I've played.
Did you Rescue Ace, or did you evenly perch?
I did.
Good job.
Yeah, we had a funny situation in time where there was only a couple minutes left on the clock. He thought he was being cheeky by going and summoning Cowboy, burning me for 800, and then finding a way to keep the negate trap live. And then I just sat there, went draw, standby main, battle phase. He adds back with the 1 add back spell, and then I go evenly. He goes emergency, summons Preventer, sends the Preventer off, keeps the negate trap. Then he goes special summon back. Then I go to the end phase, go activate destruction, blow up the trap. Then I went summon Moonin and gain 1,000 of win time.
That's so great.
Do you want to see the Ecclesia combo?
I would love to see that. I was about to ask you.
So the thing about the Ecclesia combo is, like I
Insane
said,
one-card combo.
It's not one card. It's like a lot. It's a specific like series of cards. Like it can be any runic name. So I'm just gonna put like 3 of the same runic name in here just for solidarity. The Ecclesia, and like it can literally be the worst of the summonable bestials. So we'll just say it's like Druisworm, right? So
it's not Aliber.
I said summonable, like special summonable.
You can roll summon the bestial.
So you activate your destruction, you get your Hugin as per, usual, you get your fountain. We'll discard this. It won't matter what the discard is. So you still get your fountain. Then you normal summon the Ecclesia. The Ecclesia contribute itself off and summons the Golden Sword Soul. And then these two turn into a level 6 synchro, which ends up being the Triad Master, which gets you a draw, so we can literally just put, like, the second fountain here just for, like, card count. It could be another, like, runic card, anything, really. So then you get to use the Bestial, you banish off the Hugin, so this stops you from getting the Ecclesia back in the end phase, unless you have another runic card to, like, get another fusion engraved, but that's fine. So you get to summon the Bestial, then Golden Sword Soul activates, banishes itself to summon back the Ecclesia. You now have a level 10 synchro here, which can be your Bestial Dissipator. And then Dissipator, since you now have Golden Banish, can summon it back, and then this can summon another level 10 synchro. And then you have Guaranteed Fountain plus 2 random cards in your hand to play with. And if you have like another runic, you can draw at least 2 cards off of the fountain.
So that's like a, straight up really good tier 2 card combo.
It was 3, because you need the Bestial, the Ecclesia, and any runic card, plus, like, this card.
But that's like a pretty... Yeah, I saw you use against me. That's really strong.
With, like, the number of ratios you're playing, like, if you don't draw this, you're probably drawing something like a Quem, and you play enough Bestials and runics where you're likely to see a number of them in combination. So it's just, like, a really convenient combo if you don't open Quem.
One last question. Why no duality?
So... One of the problems with duality is its main purpose was to stop Hugin from getting like impermed or something. I feel like there's enough generic other cards that could fulfill that role, and the summoning of Albane isn't really that great, as we discovered, because the problem with Albane is it's vanilla. You can never use it to summon SP, and unless you like preemptively use your Jerry with Albane to make a level 6, then the level doesn't really match up. You don't really play any relevant level 8 synchros, and the only other thing you can really use it with is like a Lubellion to make a level 10. So it's not really as convenient as anyone thought, as we initially thought. I know Joshua Schmidt thought that it might not be a great inclusion in this deck. He looked back and thought about it, and I definitely agree. I don't think it matters, because sometimes you just draw it super late as well, and you just want some way to get it into the graveyard, so you end up like burning extra resources just to get the draw to recover some of your resources. So you put about as much in to get that resolved when you draw it later as you get back from it.
He'd rather play the much superior pot of duality.
Alrighty, well, thank you very much for the deck profile, TJ, and good job on doing top 4, and we will see you guys later. Bye now.